So you've got this brilliant idea, right? A spark. But how do you actually turn that spark into a professional, powerful research report that makes people sit up and take notice? Well, that's exactly the journey we're going on today. From that first light bulb moment all the way to making a real-world impact. Let's dive in.
And this really is the million-dollar question. You know your idea has legs, you know it has potential, but getting it into a report that commands attention and actually drives decisions, that takes a clear strategy. And that's the structure we're going to build together, step by step.
You know, every great building starts with a solid plan. And in research, that plan is your proposal. I want you to think of it like an architect's blueprint. It's the document that proves your project isn't just an interesting thought, but that it's actually feasible, valuable, and worth investing in. Okay, so this blueprint has 5 main parts. First up, the introduction. This is where you grab them. You state the problem and, crucially, why anyone should care. Then you lay out clear objectives, exactly what you plan to achieve. Your methodology is the how-to guide, your game plan. After that, you describe the expected outcomes, and you wrap it all up with a realistic timeline and budget. See? This isn't just a plan, it's a promise of the value you're going to deliver. All right, blueprints in hand, now it's time to survey the land. I mean, you wouldn't build a new skyscraper without knowing what's already standing in the city, right? That's exactly what a literature review is for. And let's be clear, a literature review is so much more than a book report. It's a critical synthesis. You're not just listing off what other people have done. You're analyzing it, you're looking for the patterns, the ongoing debates, and, this is the most important part, the gaps. That gap, that's where your research fits in. That's where you build something new. The whole process is pretty methodical, really. First, you search for your sources in academic databases. Then, you organize them, maybe by theme, maybe by timeline. The third step is the magic. You synthesize. You critically look at how everything connects to find that all-important research gap. And finally, you write the review so that it creates a perfect, logical on-ramp for your own study. Now, as you're building on the work of others, giving credit where credit is due is absolutely non-negotiable. Proper referencing is what separates solid research from plagiarism. Different fields have different styles, sure. Like APA is big in business and uses an author date system, while MLA is common in the humanities with an author page number. Honestly, the specific format isn't as important as the principle. Just pick one style and stick with it. Be consistent. All right, the foundation is poured, the groundwork is done. Now it's time for the main event, actually constructing the report itself. And for this, we're going to use the industry standard format, which is known as IMRA. IMRAD sounds a little technical, but it just stands for Introduction, Methodology, Results, and Discussion. It's more than just a structure. It's really a framework for telling a compelling story. The introduction sets the scene. The methodology explains the journey you took, which makes your work transparent and trustworthy. The results section, that's the climax, what you actually discovered. And the discussion is where you explore what it all means. It's a simple, logical flow that builds incredible credibility. You know, one of the most common places people trip up is separating the results from the discussion. Just think of it like this. The results section is the what. It's where you present the cold, hard facts, the numbers, the data, with zero interpretation. Then the discussion section is the so what. This is your moment to shine, to interpret that data, explain what it means, and explore the real-world implications of what you found. Just like any construction project has a set of building codes you absolutely have to follow, research has its own non-negotiable roles. These are the ethical guidelines that guarantee the integrity and, frankly, the safety of your work. And the biggest rule of all is avoiding plagiarism. It's way more than just copy and pasting. It's using anyone else's ideas, their words, their work, without giving them proper credit. It is, without a doubt, the fastest way to destroy your credibility. So proper citation isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential. And beyond just plagiarism, there are these core principles that are really the foundation of any trustworthy research. We're talking about honesty in your data, getting informed consent from anyone who participates, protecting their privacy, and respecting intellectual property. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They are the bedrock of academic and professional integrity. So, we've planned it, we've built it, and we've followed all the rules. Our report is done. But the journey isn't over yet, not even close. Now comes the best part, seeing how this finished structure is actually used to drive real-world decisions. And here's the bottom line. Good research is not some dusty academic exercise. It is the engine of smart strategy. It's what allows businesses to replace guesswork with actual evidence, letting them innovate and grow based on data, not just a gut feeling. Let's make this real. A 2023 study found that a staggering 45%, nearly half, of online shoppers ditched their carts because the shipping costs were too high. That's not just a statistic, that is a huge, quantifiable problem that research uncovered.
So what does a smart company do with that kind of finding? Well, one retail company acted on it. They saw that data and immediately put a new policy in place: free shipping for any order over $50. A direct, simple, evidence-based decision.
And the result? Boom, a 25% increase in completed purchases in just 6 months. This is the whole process in a nutshell. A well-crafted report didn't just sit on a shelf. It identified a problem and drove a solution that led to tangible, profitable results. Think about that. From a simple idea all the way to a 25% jump in sales. That's the real power of a well-executed research report. It creates impact. So the final question really isn't about whether your ideas have value. They do. The real question is, how are you going to structure them to make a difference?